Starting us off is our friend Cal Thomas. Good morning, Cal.
Well, hello, Julie. Glad to see you've been bumped up to the first order there. Very nice.
Well,
You have a very nice voice.
Well, thank you. Larry is off in California. His daughter's getting married, so he's
how unusual these days.
Yes, marrying a man. Can you believe it? It's amazing.
Well, I hope he identifies as such.
He does. So, Cal, yesterday actually marked the first 100 days of the Trump administration. Would love your thoughts. A lot of great things happening, obviously, from the border to the economy. There's a lot of good things. But what are your thoughts on the first 100 days?
Well, I think that the president deserves bragging rights, as he did last night in his speech in Michigan, which I thought was a little long. And, he's getting into Fidel Castro territory now, 90 minutes.
Wait a minute, in length, not content, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes, absolutely. But, the border security, the government waste, the defunding DEI, protecting women's sports from invasions by men, crack down on colleges that don't control the anti-Semitism demonstrations and the threats to Jewish students. All these things are incredibly positive. I think, the market went up 300 points yesterday, the stock market, in anticipation that he was going to announce some kind of tariff deal. I thought he got close. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, says there's a whole bunch of them almost ready to go. Dow futures are down today because he didn't have an announcement last night. But, the interesting thing is, and I'm going to do a commentary on WMAL later today on this, is that the Democrats are just totally out of gas. They have nothing except opposing. Look at J.B. Pritzker now calling for an uprising. I mean, what is this, the American Revolution all over again? Right. Revolting against our own people? But they have no ideas. They've even run out of bad ideas, which is really disgusting.
Well, Cal, on that issue, I mean, Democrats were a low point during prior Republican presidencies when Nixon got elected and swept the country, when Ronald Reagan in his second term got elected and swept the country. But in my lifetime, I don't think I've ever seen them at a lower point than they are now. And it's not just that they don't seem to know how to recover, but that the things they're doing are all the wrong things, like trying to make heroes out of criminal illegal aliens. I just don't understand.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, if they're only talking about opposing what Trump is doing, but if you look at their record, the open border, the coddling of criminals, the transgenders in women's sports, and all of these other things, the toleration of anti-Semitism, Trump has flipped all of that. What are they going to run on? We want to go back to the good old days. What good old days were those? Higher taxes, more spending, $36 trillion debt, an unsure foreign policy. What do they have? They don't have anything. The only thing they could do that would get the public's attention, I think, is to embrace Republican ideas. But that's not going to happen.
Well, Cal, that's why we see this sort of desperation for Trump to lose or to be some failure. And that's why they keep putting sort of all of their, eggs in this basket. For instance, this MS-13 wife beater, they thought, we're all going to rally behind this guy. And then that kind of fell apart. And then, they're going to try to find another person to rally behind. But ultimately, the goal is for Trump and this country to fail. I think people sense that.
Well, there's no optimism in the Democrat Party anymore. City upon a hill, as Ronald Reagan used to say, our best days are ahead of us, as he wrote in his final letter to the American people after he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. There's no optimism. It's only pessimism, gloom, doom. We want Trump to fail. We want to be back in power. That's all we care about, so we can keep getting all of these goodies and stock trading under the table and all of these other things. And the American people are tired of this. If you look at the youth vote helped put Trump over the top. Only 20%, according to the latest poll, only 27% of young people approve of the Democrat Party. That is a really bad number. And if they can't do anything on that, they can count on losing in 2026 and 28.
Well, Cal, I'm sorry, but with people like David Hogg in charge, I mean, I think they're really going to be able to turn that around.
Yeah.
Cal, I'm hoping you can just take a moment to reflect on the 50th anniversary of the fall of Saigon, obviously a pivotal moment in the Vietnam War.
Yeah. Well, there was a great editorial yesterday in the Wall Street Journal about really, in retrospect, we've won. Capitalism has won. I've been to both Saigon, now Ho Chi Minh City, and Hanoi, and younger people especially are wanting a better life. They're wanting to buy stuff. They wanted better things for their own children. They're still running. And last time I was there a few years ago, propaganda films on the Vietnamese TV about the great victory over America. But as the editorial in the Wall Street Journal said yesterday, if capitalism and a freer economy was our goal, we can say we won.
That's a wonderful way to look at it and a wonderful reflection. We got to leave it there, Cal. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Always love talking to you.